Welcome to the Hilton Head Living Podcast. I am your host, O.T. Gibbons. Our mission with all of our content is to make sure you know everything going on in Hilton Head, all the best places to go, everything going on, and everything you need to know to make sure you get the most out of your time on the island. I am joined as always by my co-host, my beautiful wife, and the star of our content, Jessica Gibbons. How you doing, Jess?
Hi.
So with today's podcast, we are going to be going through everything going on this week, things to be looking out for that are coming up this holiday season, the best new things that we tried last week, and answering your questions. Before we get into all that, I know that you've been a little frustrated with some stuff, and I want to give you a second to go into some of your frustrations maybe with Hilton Head Island. What has frustrated you the most with the island the last couple of weeks? I know you've got something.
I do. So it's with all these holiday events going on, it's been a little hard to know exactly where to go. And we've had some fails, such as the Santa flying in the helicopter. Yes, it did say Coligny Plaza, but it really is just Coligny. We ended up being on the beach, and there were people that says he flies by, which he does, but you could barely see him. It was the place to be was in Coligny Plaza, and maybe that was my own fault too, of not really reading it correctly. But then last night we went to the Deck the Hulls boat parade where the boats are all lit up, and it said it started at Dolphin Head, which it did, but they were so far away. And Dolphin Head is a big area. There's a beach area. There's like where the house is, and that's where we end up sitting, the newly renovated part, because there were other people sitting there too. So we figured if other people are sitting here, they must go by. But no, it was further out by the beach that they actually went by. So we could only see them from afar. And it seemed like at first they were starting to come closer, and we thought they would turn around and come near us, but no, they turned around further away from us to go back. So it was just a little depressing. I'm not depressing. It was just a little frustrating and disheartening because I was really excited, especially for the Deck the Halls, and that it being like, you know, a couple things now that haven't been so great. So that's...
I think there's two things that I think are funny. Is number one, I actually spoke to a couple members of my family today, and everyone has just had a blast at all of these events. So I think that's kind of funny that it really is. But I feel like this is a lot of people. Like, you know, I feel like moms go through this sometimes, and the kids are still having a great time. But this is also why the channel exists. This is why we're doing this. If we didn't mess this stuff up, I don't know that we have much of a channel in the first place. But this is the struggle with Hilton Head. It's hard enough to figure out what the events are or where they are. It's even hard to figure out how to do the events correctly. Like, there's a million events that we're going to get to go to a second time. I mean, the Heritage, the golf tournament, like the biggest event they have, we found better ways to do that. The Shrimp Fest, we figured out that it gets, really crowded. We didn't know it was that big. And there's so many things. It's not just learning each event and what you should or shouldn't go to. It's also learning like the best ways to do those events. And I'm sure that is going to be a long conversation figuring out the best ways. And if you the people listening or watching have better ways that you like to do things, we'd love your input on maybe your favorite way to go to a certain event and things like that. So please share that with us. We'd love to try new ways to experience these things. So stop beating yourself up. I know you love to do that.
Last night, I was really excited for the Deck the Hulls and to see the boats all lit up. And for me, it was a dud because they were so far away. That's all. It was a little disappointment. I was disappointed. So. And
it's so funny because everybody had such a good time. But that's life, and that is life on Hilton Head. And that is, again, I think so important. And the reason I wanted you to talk about it is why we're making content for everybody, is so that you don't make these mistakes. We're trying to help you not just get to these events, but experience them in the best way possible. So with that, what's going on this week.
And for any upcoming stuff that has happened in the past years, like OT said, if you guys have suggestions about where to sit or where to park or whatnot, definitely we would love to hear for it. But so coming up this weekend, starting things off on Friday the 15th, the Side Hustle Brewing Company at the bank is hosting an Ugly Sweater release party for their new beer. And that will be from 6 to 9. And the bank's a pretty cool place. It's a big outdoor space. Lots to do. They have heat lamps. Oh, which, by the way, the bank is actually open on Christmas from 5 to 11.
And I know we're planning on attending the bank at some point the week of Christmas. We've got both our families coming in. We've got nieces, nephews. We've got people ranging in every age. And we were trying to think of the right spot to go to that was outside because we're all loud lunatics. And we felt like that was a great spot for us. So that's one of the places that we're taking, like all 14 of us or whatever. We have everybody here that week of Christmas, and that's one of the places we're going. So that's cool. It's a great spot.
Yeah, and they have live music or they have the games on the big screen TV. So it's a lot of fun for everyone. And then also for beer related, on the 16th, Lincoln and South is pairing up with the Deep Well Project for a charity event that's called Santa's Shop Wish List. And they'll donate $1 from every pour to the charity event. And there'll be live music starting at 3 to 6. And Santa will be there from 4:30. So if you haven't seen Santa yet, I don't know how you could have missed him, but if you haven't seen him yet, he'll be at Lincoln and South on Saturday. And they'll also have a special beer release that day too.
Another one of our favorite spots. Shout out Lincoln and South. Love it over there. Great staff. Really cool spot.
And if you don't like beer, they have wine. So there you go.
And games and a fire pit and usually a band and everything else. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun too. And then a lot of things going on for the 16th. In Sea Pines, they're offering the Polar Pines Express Holiday Wagon Rides. That's a mouthful.
I'm so impressed. That you said that correctly.
So you travel to their version of the North Pole in a wagon, and there's crafts, activities, hot cocoa, and treats. And the ride starts at 1 p.m., and you have to register on their website. And then also on the 16th, we mentioned this last time, is the annual Sip and Savor Brunch with Santa. Just really quick again at the Westin. You have a brunch buffet. There's vendors there for holiday gifts that you can shop around. There's hot cocoa and gingerbread contest at 10. Tickets are $55 for adult and $28 for kids. And also on the 16th, Santa, again, if you haven't seen him yet, he'll be at the Top Dog Tavern. And so that you can take pictures with from 5 to 7. But it's also a pet food drive, and pet adoption event. And they'll be accepting pet food. What?
I'm just remembering the conversation from last night.
What conversation?
We were talking last night about you saw some puppies on the shelter page when you were looking at this. And you were literally like, we were talking about how we've always wanted to get the dog farm and have like 50 dogs because every dog we see we want to adopt. And like that is our lifelong, like currently we have my sister's dog here. So we have 3 dogs and that's not enough for us. We want like 6 more dogs. And so we were laughing about like, how do we do this and not leave Hilton Head Island? Do we have to go to Bluffton and get enough land to do our dog farm, or do we start volunteering at the Humane Society? I'm just laughing about that.
Took me a minute to remember that. I had some drinks last night when I talked about this. So at first I was like, what are you talking about? And then I remember how to stay on the island, tried to find land big enough to stay on the island. So now I remember.
Mm-hmm. So if anybody spots enough land for a big dog farm on Hilton Head Island, make sure to let us know.
Anyways, so at the Top Dog Tavern, they'll be having a pet food drive, pet adoption event, and accepting pet food and supply donations for the Hilton Head Humane Association. So good cause. Also, 16th, it's a busy Saturday. You have family movie night at Fire Station 4 on Squire Pope Road. where the doors open at 5:30, the movie starts at 6, and they are showing the 2018 version of The Grinch. So it's the Jim Carrey version. What do you like better? Did you ever see both?
I've seen them all. I like the Jim Carrey version. The Jim Carrey version's solid. They're all good. But I do like the Jim Carrey version.
My favorite Christmas song is the one they sang at the very end.
Hoorah.
Yeah, at the very end of the original Grinch. Even though I don't know the words to it, I like to make up the words, but that's my favorite.
My favorite would obviously be Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Hands down. Maybe the greatest song ever written, but yes.
I think a lot of people would agree with
Love Actually will be watched in this house about 1 million times.
That's our favorite Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
But anyways, they'll be serving popcorn and hot chocolate, and make sure to bring chairs and blankets. And again, Santa will drive by after the movie. So lots of chances to see Santa this weekend again. You can also always see him at Coligny, at Shelter Cove, and at the South Beach Marina, the Salty Dog Cafe. On Sunday the 17th, not in Hilton Head, it's in Bluffton, a live nativity is going to be held at the Bluffton United Methodist Church from 4 to 6.
And then Sunday night, I know I mentioned it last week. Are you about to mention that? Did I just ruin it?
Go ahead.
On Sunday night, maybe the game of the year. I know Trevor Lawrence actually did suit up this week, but Jags-Ravens. Hopefully the Jags win this weekend. It will be a battle for first place in the AFC. We will be there. Sunday night football, Jags-Ravens. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. Very excited. Full report back the week after, but we're going. Sunday the 17th, we'll be there.
And we haven't been to Jacksonville before either, so if you have any suggestions of where we should go, maybe for lunch or breakfast the next morning, or just a cool place to go to, let us know. Back to things going on in Hilton Head. On the 18th, we said this quickly last time too, is the Lynx Restaurant, their sommelier series of New Year's Eve bubblies. And there's a variety of champagnes you get to try in the private lighthouse room. And it's from 5 to 6, and tickets are $50. And you can sign up on their website or on eventbrite.com.
So that's what's happening in Hilton Head Island this week and over the holiday season. Let's get into what was your favorite new thing that you tried on Hilton Head last week.
So it was pretty busy this past weekend. So I can't just pick one thing. Got to tell you a couple things because they're all really good. On Thursday, I went to Moorhead Spa, had their holiday soiree, which they gave out free neck massages and foot massages. The foot massage was too long. The line was too long. We had another event to go to, so I didn't get that. But the neck massage, amazing. She went like down my back and was like moving my arm. And so I definitely booked an appointment with Lori. That's who it was. She's been massaging for like 40 years. She was amazing. So that was really good. I'm really looking forward to that massage. So if you need a massage, Moore Spa with Lori. Or I think all of their therapists were pretty good too. Bree, my sister-in-law, went with me, and she got a little neck massage from another therapist that she said it was really good too. So it seems like anybody there is pretty good, and they have a lot of services there. And then after that, we went to the Pure Salt Studios in the Shelter Cove Marina, which I'd been wanting to go to for a while. It was really cool. You sit in the salt room where everything's salt. Like the floor is kind of like sand, but salt, like coarse salt. It was really cool to walk through. They have salt bricks for the walls, and they have these like lounge chairs you sit in that are heated, and a little massage. It's not a full massage chair, but you get a little something makes it relaxing. And just breathing in the salt air has a lot of health benefits. It clears up your sinuses. It was like afterwards, all of a sudden my nose was kind of runny, which is like a normal thing just because it's clearing things out. It's great for your skin, health benefits. And then we also made bath salts too. Not bath salts. We also made a body scrub, your own body scrub, personalized. You got to pick out your scents. That was really fun. And so I want to go back, and you can get a massage in the salt room. So I want to go do that too. I'm all about massages, if you couldn't tell. I love a good massage, let me tell you. So.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Did you have anything else? Because
Yeah.
I have something too.
But what I really, really enjoyed, I did spirit yoga at the Burnt Church Distillery in Bluffton on Saturday morning, which they offer it, I think, every month. Once it's on the Saturdays. And I've been wanting to go for a while, so I was happy that I finally got to go. It was a great yoga class. It was me and two other girls that I know. So, and the instructor asks what kind of class you want beforehand. She did a great job, especially since my calf and my foot aren't completely healed. So she gave me modifications if I couldn't do the pose. So she was really good. She's from Move Daily Fitness too. So then they're across the street from the Burnt Church. And the Burnt Church was really cool itself. Oh, and you get a free drink after the class too. So you get a free screwdriver or a Bloody Mary. Nice. So it was really cool to go to. And it was beautiful weather. It's December and it was like 70 degrees sitting outside in tank top. It was just absolutely a lovely morning.
That's awesome.
Okay, you can go now.
If you are coming to Hilton Head on a golf trip, you need to go to Golf Galaxy. I'm telling you, I've been to every golf store on the face of the earth, I feel like. Between my brother and I, we have been to a million of them. You think you've been to them all, you haven't. This is the best golf store I have ever been in my life. It has everything you could ever want. The best shoe selection I've ever seen. The full wall of equipment, the putters, the whole thing. The staff is phenomenal. But they've also got these full 4-bay TrackMans in the back that you can rent. I think it's $30 for a half hour, $50 for an hour. You can play any of it's got to be like 20 plus courses around the world. At night, in the rain, if you're on a trip and it's bad weather, if you need to just buy some gear, you've got to go to Golf Galaxy. Shout out to the staff. They're amazing. Stanhope, Tucker, Hunter, Barbara. I'm sure I'm forgetting some other people, but can't rave enough. This is my favorite thing on the island. I've been at least 4 times in the last 6 days. It's great. I love it there.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's your home away from home. I feel like you said, you've been there the last couple days. Seriously.
I live there now. It's awesome. It's really great. I can't hype it up enough. You will not be disappointed. I really have been in a million golf stores, and it is the best I have ever seen. It is incredible.
It's also where I got my first clubs at.
Yes, we bought. They were super helpful.
Yeah.
They're super helpful. Got her set up with her bag. So really, any level golfer, any need that you have, you got to check that place out. I also played for the first time Oyster Reef this week, which we will have the full YouTube video coming up. $60 for Hilton Head residents, $105 for non-residents. It was in immaculate condition, one of the best conditioning courses I've played on the island. It's a little narrow, but the staff was super helpful. Everybody was really nice and enjoyed the experience. It was good.
So, because I obviously don't know anything about golf per se,
Mm-hmm.
so is that pricing? How is that compared to other places?
So it all kind of fluctuates all over the place. I think it's pretty much in line with what most of the courses are. For whatever reason, we were able to play Dolphin Head without I didn't even know about the resident discount, but we were able to play Dolphin Head. Maybe it was because in the afternoon in the summer it was it's cheaper, so we got to play Dolphin Head for $60 without the residential discount. Here they gave it to me, but 85 is about as cheap as you can get. 105 is like pretty much in line, and then it goes all the way up to whatever Harbor Town is at I think it's like $500 or $600 now. So it's a solid track. And what every golfer wants when you're paying $100 is for it to be in good shape. It was in amazing shape. Maybe not my favorite layout or my brother's favorite layout because we're a certain type of golfer, but I think a lot of people would really, really enjoy it. It was really fun.
And it's in Hilton Head Plantation, right?
In Hilton Head Plantation. If you don't have a residential pass, you need to give yourself about an extra 20 minutes. My brother, I forgot to call Drew in a pass this week, so he got stuck at the gate. He was furious with me. It said it took him about 20 extra minutes to get through the gate, just telling him that he was going to go play golf there. So, yeah.
Since I don't really play, I've only played in our backyard, basically, what we belong to. If you don't belong to a golf course, like you're here visiting, do you just tell the gate that you're going to go play there, or do you need to have them call you in, or?
Yeah, so you call and make a tee time where you schedule it online, and then when you drive up to the gate, you tell them that you're going to go play Dolphin Head, Oyster Reef, or Bear Creek. They make you sign whatever paperwork. They take down your license plate and everything, and then they let you go to the course.
So it's pretty
it's
simple.
pretty simple. It just, the gate's not super fast. So just give yourself that extra 20 minutes to get through there. Don't be cutting your tee time too tight because they're not super fast at the gate.
And is that the same thing for any other courses? I know you just named the ones all in Hilton Head Plantation. So.
Yeah, Shipyard also has a gate that you have to get through. Port Royal has a gate you have to get through. I'm sorry, no, not Port Royal. Port Royal does not have a gate you need to get through, but Palmetto Dunes does. Shipyard does. Obviously, the more high-end ones do, like at Sea Pines and Long Cove and Wexford. Golden Bear does not. I'm trying to think. But it's about 50% of them. You do have a gate that you have to get through. Now answering the question from the audience that we pick every week. One thing that we get asked all the time is, what is our favorite part of the island to live on, or where would we recommend people stay? So wanted to talk a little bit about how different parts of the island have something for everyone, and where you're staying on the island can have a big influence on how much fun you're having. Because if you're a golfer and you stay in the beach spot, it may not go great. And if you're a beach person, you stay on one of the golf spots, it could not be that great. So let's talk about some of the areas that you would stay in. If it was you coming to the island, like you love to do a lot of different stuff than I do. So what would be your kind of spots? What would you outline as some of your favorite spots?
Well, there's the Coligny Plaza area. Has everything there. There's shopping. It has kids stuff. It has stores. But therefore, it is going to be a busier area. But just right off that is North and South Beach, or North and South Forest Beach. So you still can kind of walk or have a very short drive to Coligny, but it's a little bit quieter, and they're basically very close to the beach too. Very, very close to the beach. So I would think that would be definitely a good area to stay if you're visiting. Lots to do. You get the beach. You can have quiet. You can have a little bit louder too. So whatever. It's a lot.
I would say the three prime, like if you're from the Northeast and you think like boardwalky beach areas, would be the Sea Pines Plaza, Coligny, and the, help me out, I'm going to forget, across the street from Palmetto Dunes. Shelter Cove. There we go. I would say that those are the three, like, hey, it's summertime. We want to go hang out where there's a bunch of people, get some ice cream, go to a restaurant. Like, those are kind of the three big. And then the Palmetto Dunes itself is its own animal, its own beast. That place has always got a million people in there. What would you say? So if you're staying, I had a conversation with a buddy that was coming down here for a golf trip, and he really wanted to stay near. He wanted to be in an area where he was close to the golf courses, but could have pretty easy access to Riley's and the Triangle. So one of the things we were talking about was, I was like, well, that's either going to be Coligny Plaza closer to Celebration Park, at like the hotel right there, or you're going to stay near the main entrance gate at Sea Pines. What would you say the difference between, say, like the main entrance at Sea Pines and going back towards like Salty Dog?
So the Salty is South Beach. You mean? That's
right.
Right. Yeah. So South Beach Marina. You're further from everything else when you're down there. That is the furthest part of the island, which therefore too, you have to think about coming on and off the island. That's going to take you extra time to get all the way down, especially living. That's one thing we do like about living in Hilton Head Plantation is we are closer to the bridge to get off the island. Whereas when you are, one of the things about Sea Pines is you got to add another 15 minutes once you get onto the island, which I know that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but once you're here, it does.
And then it's another 20 minutes from the front gate to Salty Dog. Like, it's back there.
Yeah,
you're going all the way to the back of the island. But I do think that is probably the premier high-end beach. That little community with Salty Dog is so cool. There's a ton of tennis, bike riding. It's a really high level like beach water area, right? Like that's what that is.
You could do a lot of water stuff there too. Yeah. Like there's kayaking and boat trips, and you can go to Defusky Island from there too. Take a ferry over there from there too. So there is a lot to do in that little area shopping center thing.
And then I think if you are coming for golf, staying closer to the front gate is easier access to Plantation Golf Club, where you've got Atlantic Dunes and Heron Point. It's pretty close distance to the Harbortown Links course, and then you're going to have access to your Riley's and the other bars that are right there at the Triangle right by the front gate. And then, like we mentioned, there's Palmetto Dunes, more middle of the island, and those are kind of like that's kind of like a high level bullet point on like where to stay in like the beach golf area of that section. And then, if you're coming here on vacation, the north part of the island probably is not the best part, because if you're looking for crowds and your kids would be around a lot of kids, if you're looking for quiet, more solitude, quiet things, beaches that might not be as crowded, that would be more the north area of the island where we live, just because it's more residential, right?
Yeah, actually for Christmas, for my family, because we can only have a couple people stay with us, half of them, I found them. You don't want everybody staying with us? No? You can pack them in?
No. We did that last year.
No, they didn't all stay here last year. Luckily, his parents were.
What are you saying? Yes. A couple of them stayed at my family. So it felt like they all stayed here.
So luckily, his parents went back to D.C., so some of them could stay at their house. But like we said, both families are here this year. So I found them it was a 3-bedroom right down the street from Folly Beach. So it's down the street from Folly Beach, and it's across the street from Coconuts Sports Bar and Jamaica Joe's, and like down the street there's the Lucky Beach restaurant too. So, and they're still kind of close to us being on the northern side of the island. So I think they'll really like it.
When you were looking for them, was those areas like Folly Beach more towards, was that less expensive than the stuff closer to Coligny, Sea Pines, like more down the south side?
Yeah, especially for more than 1 or 2 bedrooms too, especially for a 3-bedroom. It was.
Yeah, that would be my impression without doing a whole ton of research, would be that the more expensive stuff would be in the more congested areas, obviously. So if you are looking for maybe a less expensive alternative that's a little quieter, that would be more like north side of the island.
I was looking all over, and especially even more north, Fish Hole Beach, there's like condos there too, which, because my family is outdoorsy and naturey and stuff, so I thought it'd be really nice for them to stay there, but I couldn't find any 3-bedroom. I could only find 2, but it was a little bit cheaper up there too, because it's even more north and a little less to do there, but really pretty. Like I said, if you're a naturey outdoor person or just want to be at the beach, that's perfect. That's where I would want to be. And then you can still drive to stuff. It's close enough by, so.
Right. But I think that's your kind of high level. I mean, we could go on and on in this conversation. I mean, it is such a, someday we will make a full podcast really detailing every neighborhood, but if we could give kind of the high level bullet points of what you should be looking for based upon your interests, that's maybe where we'd start with the advice for somebody staying here or moving here.